This seed spawns you on this island filled with many different types of things you'd want to find on an island and surrounding an island, and the spawn of your world is actually located right here, right inside this small little taiga forest, but in fact, it's not quite so small, but instead, just a little bit big, just a little bit big. But something else that's a little bit big is the fact that there's quite a number of biomes on this one single island. We have the spruce forest, we have a swamp biome, we have a small mountain, we have a little bit of this other mountain biome, we have a forest, and we have two different villages, and both of which we can actually see from spawn. We have this one right off in the distance over there, and then this one right off in the distance over there. Two separate villages right in peripheral view of where you actually spawn in. Both pretty much the same distance away from spawn 2. And the Plains village, while it doesn't have a blacksmith or anything like that, it does have something a little bit more interesting, and that is a ravine. And normally, ravines might not be too interesting, but this ravine, in fact, has a mine shaft. Something classic seeds would always love to have. Having a mine shaft going right through it, right beneath like a village. This is perfect prime opportunity to actually get a whole bunch of loot, to get a whole bunch of stuff, and to get a whole bunch of stuff from the village too. Surrounding ravines, maybe a little less, but still there is some good stuff around here. And yeah, on this side of the island we have pretty much this pretty decent sized plains biome, probably the perfect place you're going to want to use to actually build up a huge amount of stuff if you want to do it there. But in the case you do head off in the opposite end of this humongous island, then you're eventually going to find yourself, again, a whole bunch of taiga biome, as well as this spruce village we can see right over here, and unfortunately it doesn't have a blacksmith or a super cool ravine. So this is editing Chris, and I completely missed out that there was a blacksmith inside this one village. But in the case you do want to still make the most of like having two separate different types of villages, and this is probably a good place on doing it in. And on this far side of the island, we get of course a whole bunch of spruce biome, but we also get a little bit of a forest biome, and by a little bit I mean like quite a lot. I mean, this side of the island pretty much consists of like half spruce biome and half forest biome, as we can see right here, with another ravine with, unfortunately, again, no mine shaft or anything like that, but again, another place you might want to use to go like mining or something like that around here. But if that ravine didn't really have much for you, then something that might have a little bit more for you is this one ruined portal we can see right here, with plenty of lava, probably more than enough to actually use to go to the nether. And if you just so happen to do that, then this is the spawn you're gonna get. Yes, I'll be honest, it could be a better spawn. But hey, a way to the nether is a way to the nether. Almost like how these mountains are indeed not as tall as some other mountains, but they are still very hilly and very broken terrain, such as some floating islands we can see right here, such as high enough terrain to get yourself snow, and many other different types of things up on these higher elevation areas. And by many, I mean, I'll be honest, not too much, but still enough to find quite a bit of interesting terrain around here. But something else that might be interesting to you is not just like another forest biome or the swamp biome or anything like that, but everything surrounding this one humongous island, such as the fact that there's this huge iceberg going out for hundreds upon hundreds of blocks, which of course gives you the perfect opportunity to do this, and also gives you the perfect opportunity, not this, of all places, I get myself stuck here. It gives you the perfect opportunity to head yourself off in this direction for a couple hundred blocks, because just over here, we're getting ourselves a mushroom island. Yes, a mushroom island surrounded by frozen, humongous icebergs around the place. Yeah, it's not quite the biggest mushroom island we've ever seen in the world, but it is still a way in getting mycelium, it is still a way in getting away from the mob spawning, and it is still a way in just like finding a very rare biome in the middle of this very frozen area, not too incredibly far from your very massive island. And yeah, other areas surrounding this one island is pretty barren and sparse, as we can see around here, but not so much around here, because from spawn, yes, that is pretty much around spawn, if you head off in this direction around here, you're eventually going to find yourself this ocean monument, not too incredibly far away from where you actually spawn in, so that is probably going to be a prime opportunity in actually getting yourself guardian farms, sponges, and everything else like that. And something else you might want to be wary of is, of course, mainland. Mainland is, of course, going to be something you're going to want to be aware of, and fortunately enough, it isn't too incredibly far, probably just like a couple hundred blocks away from where you spawn in. Filled with birch trees, jungle trees, acacia trees, and everything else you want to find in other areas of the world. And with a lot of flat building space, so in the case you want more space instead instead of just on that one island, then around here might not be too much of a hassle, because all you gotta do, chop down the trees, and you're good to go. Almost as much as you're good to go with this ravine, which might not have any mine shafts, might not have many ores, but does make up for it with a little something else. And of course, surrounding the other edges of the island is just like a whole bunch of like other smaller islands, maybe a shipwreck here or there, and other different types of things you might expect to find inside an ocean biome. But yeah, let me know anything to see down below. Like, subscribe, join membership, and all that different types of stuff. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.